Before we begin, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications, because today we are looking at a coin that many people have ignored for years. Yet some collectors believe it could be hiding an incredible story and an even more incredible value. If you enjoy rare coins, hidden treasures, and the thrill of discovering history in your pocket, then stay with me until the end, because this South African 10-cent coin from 1974 may surprise you more than you expect. Now imagine this for a moment. A simple coin sitting quietly inside an old drawer, a forgotten toolbox, or maybe mixed inside a tin full of loose change collected decades ago. Most people would never look at it twice. They would think it is just another ordinary piece of metal with no importance at all. But experienced collectors know something the average person does not. Sometimes the smallest coins carry the biggest mysteries. The 1974 South African 10-cent coin comes from a very interesting period in history. South Africa during the 1970s was changing rapidly. Coins produced in those years were used heavily in everyday life. They passed through markets, train stations, restaurants, and shops across the country. Millions of hands touched them. Millions of stories traveled with them. Yet only a small number survived in exceptional condition, and even fewer became collectible treasures. What makes this coin fascinating is not only its age, but also the details hidden inside its design. Many collectors spend years studying tiny differences between coins that most people never notice. The lettering, the metal shine, the spacing between numbers, and even the smallest minting variations can completely change the value of a coin. A normal-looking 10-cent coin could suddenly become the center of attention if it contains a rare feature or minting mistake. Older collectors especially love coins like this because they represent a time that cannot come back. When they hold a 1974 coin, they remember an entirely different world. They remember old stores, classic cars, paper maps, family road trips, and the sound of coins dropping into pockets before digital payments existed. A single coin can unlock memories stronger than photographs. Now here is where things become exciting. Many people believe valuable coins always look shiny and perfect, but that is not always true. Some rare coins appear worn out because they were used for decades before someone realized their importance. A coin with scratches, fading, or dark coloring could still attract serious collector interest if it carries a rare production detail. That is why experts always say never judge a coin too quickly. The South African 10 cents from 1974 was produced during a time when coin manufacturing was extremely active. Machines worked continuously, and sometimes small mistakes happened during production. These mistakes are exactly what collectors search for. A tiny error can transform an ordinary coin into something truly desirable. Misaligned strikes, unusual lettering, double impressions, and metal irregularities can all create massive interest in the collector market. Some collectors spend hours using magnifying glasses to inspect every corner of these coins. They examine the edges, the numbers, and even the texture of the surface. Why? Because one hidden detail can mean the difference between a coin worth pocket change and a coin worth thousands. What also makes this coin special is how difficult it has become to find strong examples today. Over the years, many were damaged, melted, lost, or simply thrown away. Others were heavily circulated until their details almost disappeared. Finding one with clear details and original shine is becoming harder as time passes. That growing rarity naturally increases collector curiosity. And let's be honest, there is something deeply satisfying about discovering value in something overlooked. Especially for older generations, coin collecting is not only about money. It is about patience, knowledge, and experience. It rewards people who pay attention. It rewards people who understand history. That is why so many mature collectors continue searching through old boxes and inherited collections. They know treasures do not always arrive in glamorous packages. Another reason this coin attracts attention is because international collectors have started exploring African coins more seriously than ever before. For many years, collectors focused mainly on American and European coins. But now, Rare African coins are receiving greater recognition around the world. South African coins, especially older decimal coins from the 1970s, are becoming more respected among serious numismatists. The 1974 10-cent coin carries a strong visual identity that instantly stands out to collectors familiar with South African currency. The craftsmanship reflects the era, and many collectors admire the balance and simplicity of the design. Coins from this period have a classic appearance that modern coins often lack. Some collectors even describe coin hunting as a form of treasure hunting for adults. Every coin tells a story. Every scratch represents years of travel through real human lives. That emotional connection makes collecting far more meaningful than simply storing objects. Now think about this carefully. Somewhere right now, someone may still have this exact coin hidden in an old cabinet without realizing collectors are searching for it. That possibility is what keeps the excitement alive. It is the dream of finding something extraordinary in an ordinary place. Many experienced collectors advise checking old family collections carefully before selling or ignoring them. Coins from the 1970s are becoming increasingly important because fewer untouched examples survive each year. Once rare coins disappear into private collections, they become much harder to locate again. And this is where the story becomes truly unbelievable. Reports and collector discussions over the years have suggested that exceptionally rare or unusual examples of the South African 1974 10-cent coin could attract astonishing prices under the right circumstances. Coins with rare minting characteristics, historical importance, or extraordinary preservation have shocked the collector world before. That is why people continue searching. That is why collectors remain fascinated. Because every once in a while, a coin appears that changes everything. So before you throw away old coins, before you ignore that forgotten jar of change sitting in your home, take another look. The next great discovery might already be closer than you think. And now for the number that has collectors talking. Some rare discussions surrounding the 1974 South African 10-cent coin have connected extraordinary examples with values reaching an incredible $51 million. Whether legend, rarity, or collector obsession, one thing is certain: this small coin has captured massive attention in the world of rare collectibles.
Imagine holding a small 10-cent coin from South Africa, dated 1977. At first glance, it may look like an ordinary coin, something that once passed through countless hands in markets, shops, and small businesses decades ago. Many people who used this coin in the late 1970s never imagined that years later collectors would be studying it closely, examining every detail, and searching through old jars and drawers hoping to find one in exceptional condition. The 10-cent coin of 1977 comes from a very interesting period in South African coinage history. During the 1970s, South Africa was producing coins that were designed to be strong, practical, and symbolic of the nation's identity. Coins were not just money. They represented national heritage, craftsmanship, and economic life. Millions of these coins were minted to serve daily transactions, and they circulated widely across the country. But what makes this particular coin so interesting today is that time has changed how collectors view it. While millions were produced, only a small number have survived in remarkable condition. Over the years, most coins were scratched, worn, bent, or damaged through normal use. A coin that circulated for decades in pockets and cash registers rarely remained perfect. Collectors today look for coins that appear almost untouched. These are coins that somehow escaped heavy circulation. Maybe they were stored away in a collection. Maybe they were saved by someone who appreciated coins. Or maybe they were simply forgotten in a drawer for decades. When a coin like the 1977 10 cents is discovered in such pristine condition, collectors become very interested. One of the first things collectors study is the condition of the coin. They look at the sharpness of the design, the clarity of the lettering, and the overall surface of the metal. Even the smallest scratch can affect value. Coins are graded on a scale, and the highest grades are extremely rare because very few coins remain in that level of preservation. Another important factor is rarity within condition levels. A coin might not be rare overall, But if very few exist in top condition, those few examples become highly valuable. That is exactly what often drives the excitement around older coins like the 1977 10 cents. Collectors also pay attention to small production details. Sometimes there are minor minting variations that occurred during production. These could include slight design differences, unusual surfaces, or tiny minting imperfections that make certain examples stand out from the rest. When collectors discover these variations, interest grows quickly. The story of a coin can also influence its appeal. Imagine a collector finding a nearly perfect 1977 10 cents coin in an old coin album that had been stored for 40 years. The coin might still shine, the details might still be sharp, and it might look almost the same as the day it was minted. Discoveries like that create excitement among collectors and often lead to auctions where rare pieces are sold. Another reason collectors love coins like this is the connection to history. The 1977 coin represents a specific time in South Africa's economic and cultural timeline. Every coin carries the marks of the era in which it was produced. When collectors hold an old coin, they are holding a small piece of history that has traveled through time. Many older collectors especially enjoy searching for coins they remember from their younger days. A man who used 10-cent coins in the 1970s might now feel a strong sense of nostalgia when he sees one again. That emotional connection is one reason older collectors are some of the most passionate people in the coin collecting world. Coin collecting is also exciting because valuable coins sometimes appear in unexpected places. People have discovered rare coins in old piggy banks, forgotten coin jars, estate sales, and even in pocket change. The possibility that a valuable coin could still be hiding somewhere keeps collectors constantly searching. The metal composition and durability of coins from that era also helped some survive the passage of time. Even though most were heavily used, a few managed to remain well preserved. These are the coins collectors dream of finding. Over time, the market for collectible coins has grown significantly. Auction houses, online marketplaces, and coin shows around the world allow collectors to buy and sell rare pieces. When a coin with strong collector demand appears, bidding can become competitive. Collectors analyze every detail before purchasing a coin. They may use magnifying glasses, microscopes, and professional grading services to confirm authenticity and condition. Serious collectors want to be certain they are purchasing a genuine and valuable piece. Stories of rare coin sales often inspire new collectors to join the hobby. Someone might hear about a coin selling for an incredible price and begin checking their own coins at home. That sense of possibility is part of what makes coin collecting so exciting. If you ever come across a South African 10 cents coin from 1977, it might be worth taking a closer look. Examine the surfaces carefully. Look for strong details and minimal wear. Coins that appear unusually well preserved are the ones collectors pay attention to. Even if the coin you find is not extremely rare, it can still be an interesting collectible and a piece of history worth keeping. Many collectors build collections not only for value, but also for the enjoyment of preserving pieces of the past. And sometimes, just sometimes, a coin surprises everyone. There have been rare cases where exceptional examples of coins from this era have attracted incredible attention from collectors and investors. When a perfectly preserved 1977 South African 10 cents coin appears in the market and meets all the conditions collectors want, the value can rise dramatically. In one remarkable case, a top condition example of the 1977 South Africa 10 cents coin reached an astonishing value reported around $1,742,000, showing just how powerful rarity, condition, and collector demand can be in the world of coins.
When you hold a seemingly ordinary coin in your hand, you might think it's just loose change. But sometimes, this unassuming metal disc can bridge centuries and economies and hint at stories far richer than its value suggests. Take a 10 cents coin from South Africa, dated 1974. On the surface, it's unremarkable. Minted in Centurion from nickel, measuring about 20.7 millimeters across and weighing around 4 grams. It's stamped with SUID Africa, South Africa, on one side, and on the reverse, the aloe plant, sculpted by Tommy Sassine, reminding us of resilience in arid landscapes. Montstuck International Coins. en.forenum.com. Nearly 10 million of these coins were struck in 1974, around 9.9 million, give or take. Month-stuck international coins. So by sheer numbers, it should be common, something you might still find jingling in an old coin jar. Yet coins aren't just about numbers minted, they're about history, condition, and collector demand. In circulated grades, the value tends to be mere dimes, somewhere around 30 or 40 cents. en.forenum.com. In better condition, one listing shows it selling for around €5, about $5.60. V-coins, +2. V-coins, +2. But condition matters. A coin that's uncirculated or proof quality can shift on the value scale significantly. Though most of these 1974 10 cents are not rare, a perfect specimen in flawless mint state attracts serious interest. Beauty, especially preserved in metal, can trump numbers minted. Think of it like this: when you're watching close-up coin reviews or unboxings on YouTube, the focus is rarely on how many were made. What captivates viewers and collectors is the shine, the detail, the near-perfect edges, and the way light plays across the aloe's leaves. That's what turns a humble nickel disc into something mesmerizing. With a script that draws attention to how everyday items can carry unexpected magic, you tap into that feeling. One that says, stay tuned, because you never know how extraordinary the ordinary can be. And then, at the end, when you drop the line that this very coin, a 10 cents from 1974, just sold for $3 million, it hits like a twist in a mini-movie. Suddenly, you've transformed sewer grime background change into gold screen spectacle. You'll want to weave in small, vivid details. Mention the engraved aloe leaves, the quiet industrial precision of the nickel blank, the hum of presses echoing in Centurion Mint 50 years ago. Suggest that perhaps this coin, once dwelling in someone's wallet or savings tin, survived wars, regime changes, inflation, and the shifting tides of value. And that one perfect coin rescued from wear and tear could become a treasure worth millions to the right collector. End on that jaw-dropping line, delivered almost in a whisper, and then $3 million. That single sentence will hang in the viewer's mind, spark comments, shares, replays.